What does the Bible say about divorce? The Bible addresses the topic of divorce in several passages, and the teachings vary depending on the context and the author. I will provide an overview of the key passages that discuss divorce. Number 1. Old Testament views. In the Old Testament, specifically in Deuteronomy 24:1-4, Moses permitted divorce under certain circumstances. It states that a man could divorce his wife if he found some indecency in her. This phrasing has been subject to interpretation and debate among scholars, with some understanding it as referring to sexual immorality or adultery. Number 2. Jesus' teaching. In the New Testament, Jesus addresses the topic of divorce in several passages. In Matthew 19:3-9 and Mark 10:2-12, Jesus is questioned by the Pharisees about divorce. He responds by referring to the creation account in Genesis, emphasizing that God intended for marriage to be a lifelong commitment between one man and one woman. Jesus teaches that divorce was allowed in the Old Testament due to the hardness of people's hearts, but clarifies that it was not God's original design. He states, "What therefore God has joined together, let not man separate." Number 3. Exception clause. In Matthew 5:31-32, Jesus adds an exception clause to his teaching on divorce applicable. "But I say to you that everyone who divorces his wife except on the ground of sexual immorality makes her commit adultery." This exception suggests that divorce is permissible in the case of marital unfaithfulness or adultery. Number 4. Paul's teaching. The Apostle Paul also addresses divorce in 1 Corinthians 7:10-16. He advises that believers should not divorce their spouses, but acknowledges that if an unbelieving spouse insists on separation, the believer is not bound in such cases. It's important to note that the Bible's teachings on divorce are nuanced and have been interpreted and understood within various Christian denominations and traditions. While the Bible discourages divorce and emphasizes the sacredness of marriage as a lifelong commitment, it also recognizes the complexities of human relationships and offers some allowances under specific circumstances. Pastoral guidance and seeking wisdom from trusted spiritual leaders can provide further insight and guidance on this topic within a specific faith community.